Of what's called a Kona low, expected to bring some unsettled weather. We've got some stubborn rain that's going to be a part of it. And back in studio, as I walk over here, let's go ahead and welcome in meteorologist Craig Herrera. Craig, you are joining us to talk a little bit more about a Kona low. I do like the name, but it gets a name for a reason.
It does, yeah. Kona in Hawaii means leeward, right? So when we talk leeward, the leeward side of the islands, those are typically historically speaking, the drier side of the island. It's the windward side when the winds come in from the northeast that bring in the rain to the the islands that face to the east, rather, to that side of the island. In the meantime, here you can see the Kona low diving down to the south. It is just to the north and west of the island chain right now, and with it comes a change in wind direction. The change in wind direction will bring the winds up from the south. So now, rather than having the trade winds that are coming in from the northeast, they start to come in from the south. That does mean that orographic lift plays big into this, right? As that low slides down to the south, the winds bank up against those south-facing portions of the islands, and those are some pretty steep portions of the islands. You add in the orographic lift, you squeeze out the moisture, and there is the potential to be dealing with some flooding. Not only that, but whenever we talk Kona lows, we talk about chance for heavy rain, thunderstorms. In fact, historically speaking, we've had thunderstorms that created some tornadoes, water spouts. All of that is a possibility in the mix. Flood watches have already been placed for the islands, especially the south-facing sides of the islands. That's where you're going to get most of the rainfall. And here's what we talk about when we're looking at the rainfall. Notice, if you look at the island chain, the south-facing slopes, rather, the ones where you get the orographic lift, that's where you're going to potentially squeeze out 5 to 8 inches of fresh rain. Remember, where does all of this have to go? Right down to the lower lying areas. Now, having said that, you could be dealing with some landslides, potentially maybe even some rock slides with this type of setup. The northern side of the island's not getting that much rain because of the wind direction. Remember, on the other side of the mountains, sometimes you get a little bit of the rain shadow effect, meaning most of the rain's just kind of wrung out on the other side of the mountain. By the time it gets to the north-facing side, you don't have a lot of moisture left over. So the rainfall totals will be dramatically different depending on the island, all based on the southerly flow. Having said that, we even have snow for the highest elevations. The summits, they're talking about 8 to 11 inches of fresh snow for the summits for the higher elevations here. Having said that, it's one of those awesome times when this is all said and done and you look up a day or two after, when it's a little more calm and settled, and you look up to the higher elevations and you see some snow up there. Pretty magical when you're talking about the Hawaiian Islands and you're sitting on a beach under a palm tree and you're looking up at snow up on the top of the summit there. So watch for this. There will be the potential rather for significant icing, especially for anybody trying to drive up there. So it's something they'll watch closely as well. Aside from that, let's talk about waves, because we have not only the rain, the mountain snow, but waves. Some of those breaking waves, 10 to 12 feet. The pros who live there, I mean, this is one of the reasons that a lot of people live in Hawaii, right, is for the surf conditions. They're the pros. Let them do what they know to do and what they know how to do. Anyone who's visiting, I'd say stay out of the water. Just let them go with about their business there. When we look at the radar or the future radar and winds, notice as the low sags down to the south, the rain increases with the placement of this, the heaviest rain closest to the center of the low. So probably not the heaviest rain for the Big Island, but again, you will see that add up once we get through Wednesday. After that, we start to get a bit of a break, which would be some good news for you. If we look to the next 3 days, at least you know that now. So Kona low, specific to this region, dives, especially with the jet stream, dives in from the north, moves down to the south, and the south-facing beaches there, Marissa, and the slopes will get in on the action as we see the trade winds shift position. So this is a part of the island, some of the islands that don't always get a lot of the rain. We'll get some rain this time around.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, rain can be beneficial, but this will be a significant system. I mean, I'm kind of blown away by what's going to be playing out at the summits, where the winds could be greater than 60 miles per hour with the icing threat. I think they ended up shutting down a lot of the roads out there to keep people off.
Yeah, you think about it, it's not a good thing. A lot of people want to check it out, especially because there's snow up there, but forget about it.
Yeah, it's not going to be worth it. It's going to be too tricky, too dangerous. All right, Craig, interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's so cool. Take care.